Good, y'all. Welcome back. And before we get into anything else today, I'd like to thank every single one of y'all for watching my last video. I appreciate all the support y'all gave me in that last video. And today we're doing something new though. Today we're doing solo leveling. Today we're watching how Jinwoo came from a bitch to the biggest aura farmer in all of fucking anime. But I don't need to tell you that. Y'all read the fucking title. So without further ado,
let's go.
Nah, you know we couldn't start like that. Without further ado, let's get it. You see, right here and then, I'd have been out of there. Nobody could have told me to go in there. The fuck is you talking about?
It just shut on its own.
Huh? But why?
It's fine. I'm sure we can open it back up again.
Open sesame! Well, I've done all I can do.
There's S, A, B, C, D, leaving E as the lowest level.
Alright, commentator, you had your chance. It's my time now. Step back. Peep game. So the boy Sunju.
Son of a gun. You thought I was gonna say son of a bitch, didn't you?
So here comes the boy Jinwoo, and why this nigga look like he just came out of a fucking car crash? Yo, what happened to this nigga? But I'm sure, as you could tell, if you couldn't see from the aura meter right there, there is no aura emitting from this nigga at all. So Jinwoo's talking to this girl named Johi, and she might just be his best friend, but the reason is because Johi's a healer, and Jinwoo is the weakest hunter of all time. So you know, this nigga stay getting injured. Like, every minute of the day, this nigga gets injured. This nigga is like that nigga from SpongeBob.
I was born with glass bones and paper skin. Every morning I break my legs, and every afternoon I break my arms. At night, I lie awake in agony until my heart attacks put me to sleep.
So Jinwoo says this is the only sword that he could afford because he's kind of broke right now and he has to just do what he can find. And this sword, I'm not gonna lie, it's not looking very promising. So it's time to go into the dungeon, and yo, everybody's having a pretty good time with this because it's looking pretty easy. Well, except for one person. And of course it's Jinwoo, who's out here struggling against a fucking level 1 zombie. Of course he is. Oh my god. So Jinwoo's butter knife ass sword breaks on him, and oh my god, of course nigga got a fatal fucking blow and had to get saved. Oh my god. Jinwoo, come on bro, you're better than this. So Jinwoo starts bleeding out all over the floor, and he's lucky that Johi was here to heal him up, because ain't no way you went out like this, bro. Out to a zombie, bro? You got a fatal blow from a zombie, bro? Really? But hey, at least it's not all bad. At least he got a mana crystal from it. So him and Johi start talking, and she says,
You could always show your thanks by taking me out to eat somewhere. Why the shock? Is the thought of treating me to a meal so upsetting to you?
Trust me, Johi, it's not that he doesn't want to take you out for dinner. It's that the broke ass nigga can't afford to take you out for dinner. So after that, they end up finding a cave inside the dungeon, and normally when things like this happen, you're supposed to report it to the Hunters Association and they're gonna deal with it. But this ugly ass motherfucker says that his friend came here to get some cash because he has a new kid on the way. So he suggests the idea that maybe we could tweak the rules this one time just so my boy can get his bread up and take care of his kids. So the party leader decides that the only fair thing to do is leave it all up to a vote, and I want y'all to pay attention who votes for what.
So I say we put it to a vote.
I vote no.
Same here.
I'm sorry, everyone. I really don't want to.
So all the women vote no, and majority of the dudes vote yes. See, this is why women tend to live longer in these animes, because you niggas are fucking stupid. Like, how you gonna choose to keep going forward when you could go home? So the votes end up being tied, and the only person that hasn't voted yet is Jinwoo. And Jinwoo decides that he needs the money because his sister needs to go to school. So he decides, let's go into the dungeon further. So after opening the door, they see fire start lighting and big ass statues. You see, right here and then, I'd have been out of there. Nobody could have told me to go in there. The fuck is you talking about?
It just shut on its own!
But why?
It's fine. I'm sure we can open it back up again.
Open sesame! Well, I've done all I can do.
And this is what happens when y'all pretend y'all Scooby-Doo. Like, y'all could have went home. Y'all could have been home. Why did y'all decide to go further in the cave, much less to go inside this room of these demonic looking statues? So brother over here is mad as shit, talking about some, I knew we shouldn't have gone here, but I was outvoted.
Go. You can't. Whose mess is this? You put him on the TV. Go home! Bro, don't. Go home!
So he decides to try to open the door, and shit, that was not a good idea. That nigga got sliced in half. But the Flash over here decides that he's not gonna die today. Even though that there are literal gods in this place, he thinks he's gonna get to run away. Well, let's see how this plays out. So is anybody else not surprised? Like, who else didn't see this coming? Like, bro, you're not the main character. These niggas are gods. And worst of all, you didn't even have your shit on in sports mode. So Jinwoo comes up with the idea to start bowing to the gods, and shit, that shit worked. Like, after they started bowing, they didn't start dying again. But it did feed that god's ego. Like, look at that nigga's face, bro. Like, that nigga's face could give kids nightmares, bro. Like, damn. So this nigga right here starts begging the gods to stop killing us. He starts getting on his knees and hitting a prayer. But shit, that nigga did not care. That nigga stepped right on his head. While everybody else is running, this bitch right here is paralyzed with fear. She stood there, having a whole internal monologue. But you think this nigga gives a fuck? Nah, that nigga stepped right on top of her head too. So Mickey Mouse over here is talking about some, I can't afford to die here. I got a family back home. Well, my brother, you're not the main character. That nigga immediately says that, and right after, he gets sliced in the back. He got cut in half by a knight. So Jinwoo figures it out again. He finds out that you're not supposed to go to the statues that have weapons or armor around them. You're supposed to go to the statues that have musical instruments around them. So Jinwoo takes Johi to one of the statues that have instruments around them, but he figures out that two people can't be at the same statue, cause shit, that would be too easy. So he leaves Johi at one of the statues, but the giant ass nigga is still trying to step on him. That nigga is on his Aaron Yeager timing. So Jinwoo barely escapes the giant statue trying to step on him, but it's not all good news for him, because he ended up at the statue that had the shield on it, and that nigga used the shield and cut off his whole leg. It's not looking good for Jinwoo, I'm not gonna lie, but that nigga is not giving up quite yet. That nigga is crawling his way all the way to the other statue. But shit, like I said, that nigga's not ready to give up quite yet. That nigga just barely manages to make it. So they make it to the next trial, and they're all in the middle of a circle, and all the giants are surrounding them, but they leave the door open. But Jinwoo says it's simply just a test. If they simply just wait for all the flames to go out, they'll all be able to leave scot-free. But shit, those two didn't even wait for Jinwoo to finish his sentence. They chucked him to the ground and started hitting the dash immediately. So this bitch ass nigga starts crying, talking about some, I got a family back home and blah 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 blah. Like, nigga, they all got families. What are we talking about? And I'm not even mad that he said he has a family, cause shit, don't get me wrong, I'd be thinking about myself too. But Jinwoo's been saving your life this entire time. At least carry the nigga out with you. So the old man tells Johi to get Jinwoo and get the fuck out. But of course, Johi used up all of her MP trying to heal Jinwoo, and now she can't fucking move, of course. So Jinwoo gives her a mana crystal and says, take yourself out to dinner, I'll collect the chains later. And shit, I don't even know these niggas like that, but that shit still hit me in the feels. I'm like, yo, that shit could still make a grown-ass man cry. I'm like, damn. So the old man knocks Johi out and says, yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't let y'all get a proper farewell, but we really got to get going or else we're all gonna die here. Alright, so after that, the first giant comes up to this nigga Jinwoo and slices his arm right off. So I wonder what this nigga Jinwoo must be thinking right now. Like, he must be heated as fuck right now. Like, bro, he could die to literally any dungeon above E rank, and they chose to give this nigga a S rank dungeon, bro. Like, you couldn't do the nigga a little bit of justice and give him a D rank to kill him, bro? Like, damn. But damn, them giants didn't give a flying fuck. That nigga took his sword and implanted that bitch in his chest. Well, Jinwoo, it was a good run, my brother. It was a good run. So the next giant takes his big ass fucking sword, reaches the fucking heavens with it, and slices this nigga in half. Or so we thought, cause this notification board pops up and says to Jinwoo, yo, you finally meet the requirements to be the player. Accept or die. So the boy Jinwoo, he wakes up and he sees that his arm is perfectly fine. So he goes to check his leg and it's also perfectly fine. Yo, who gave this nigga Hashirama cells, bro? Like, this nigga's looking fine and dandy. Like, just 2 minutes ago, that nigga was looking like Levi. So Chinchol Woo and this purple haired nigga, I promise you I'm not trying to say this nigga's name. This name is some bullshit. Like, this nigga is the reason why nobody knows the name of soul leveling characters. Like, bro, what kind of name is that? Alright, so they're basically here to check if the boy Jinwoo got a reawakening. So remember how I told y'all a hunter's rank is set from birth? Yeah, I lied to y'all. So basically a reawakening can happen, it's just very fucking rare. So the reason they think Jinwoo got a reawakening is because it's the only thing that makes sense to them. Cause how is an E rank hunter gonna survive a S rank dungeon? That shit don't even make sense. So the boy Jinwoo puts his hand on the manometer and the school wasn't looking very good for the boy, I ain't gonna lie. Like, that nigga got 10? 10, bro? My granny could have gotten more than that, nigga. Damn! Let me put this in perspective for y'all. E ranks tend to get over 70. That nigga got 10. Yo, no wonder they gave him his arm and leg back, because he was already crippled from the very beginning. What is that score? So the system gives Jinwoo a daily quest where he has to do 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run. Does that sound familiar to y'all?
Do it every single day!
But you see, the difference is, if Jinwoo doesn't do it, it results in a penalty. But Jinwoo didn't think it was serious. He thought this was some weird twisted joke. So the nigga went right back to bed. So in the middle of the night, while Jinwoo's taking a nap, he's transported to the penalty zone because he didn't do the fucking exercises. So you might be wondering, what's the penalty? A slap on the wrist? He has to do all the exercises right now? No. He has to survive 4 hours against a giant monster.
Is this nigga serious?
And yeah, that's the first part of how Sung Jinwoo became the greatest aura farmer in all of anime history. And yeah, if y'all would like to see a part 2, just let me know in the comments. And also let me know by liking my video and subscribing to my channel. So, with that being said, take care and peace!